Hi everyone, welcome
Hello.
back. And welcome back to us because we are just back from PAX Unplugged. First time in Philadelphia, first time at PAX Unplugged. Um, Great time, great couple of days. How are you all doing? As always, let
Great.
us know if you can hear us, if you can see us properly.
We
And
are on BackerKit as well. That's great.
yeah, okay. Did we manage to defeat the jet lag? It's not easy. I have to say, it is something that I would not personally recommend to
No.
to take 2 10 hours flight in the span of 3 days while handling a crowdfunding campaign.
Ongoing crowdfunding. That went really, really well while we were over there. So, as you said, as probably some of you managed to see, we weren't exactly ready for all the updates and the stretch goal we reveal. We were luckily forced to do.
Unlock.
So yes, yes, yes. It was very. It was great. We really loved being in Philadelphia. The convention was great. A lot of friends, old and new, that come to see us, talk with us about household and all the other games. So yes, we are extremely happy about this experience. Probably we will be back again next year at Philadelphia, because yes, it was absolutely good and positive.
And we also had a little moth near the our booth that we decided to take home. So now we have a guardian moth
Yes.
um, in the studio as well. It fits
Yes,
the
yes,
household
Bruno, I
theme.
managed to taste the Philly cheese steak, and it was very good. I love cheese, so yes, I'm pretty happy about it.
So apart from PAX was of course the convention was great, and we were both on the Free League booth for the first time with
Yes,
Outgun, which went sold out on day two. So great launch for Outgun at Free League. And on the other end, we were at the Studio 2 booth with Memento Mori, Household, and Adventures in the Household, and it went great. I believe Adventures in the Household was sold out as well.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's
We pretty much sold out, and also all the games did pretty well. So we are very happy.
it was great experience overall, and
Yeah.
somehow we also managed to keep up with the BackerKit campaign that is currently going on, and I'm just checking, we have 53 hours left. It's going to be an intense couple, little more than a couple of days from now on.
Thank you, Greg. Yes, the minis were complete. All the minis we bring with ourselves to PAX were sold out, so it's great. Thank you. I hope he enjoys it. Both of them enjoys the mini. And yes, yes. What we can talk about today, when I will remember you, we have 53 hours left until the end of the campaign. Not exactly, as you know, because we even this time around we didn't learn our lesson last time, so we will have an overtime mode for our household as well. So who knows when the campaign will actually end.
So we'll try to keep this live stream as short as possible. I'm gonna go through all the stretch goals that we unlocked since the last live stream, and then we will talk a little bit about what are we going to do in this near future between here and the end of the campaign. Let me see if I can. I believe that. Yes, I don't know if we managed, if it was already unlocked in the past live stream, but I will start with the giant mole, which is another colossal um, beast that you will find now thanks to the stretch goal in Household Volume 2. So there's already mole enemies, there were already mole enemies in Household. because in Household Volume 2 you will find an whole new thing, which is the underground, and the underground will be basically what the in-betweens were in Household Volume 1. So in Household Volume 1 we had this space between the walls that you can use to move or sneak around the house, which were called the in-betweens. And in Household Volume 2 we will have the underground, which especially in winter will be extremely handy to move around the garden, but also extremely
Yes.
dark and dangerous. Now, a creature that is not afraid of darkness, but that you should be afraid of, is the giant mole. And specifically one specific giant mole, which is the Blind King, or as the outsiders call him, the Moloch. And Moloch is the one you can see here in the picture, will be a very possibly, I believe me and Simone, we are already starting playtesting during the campaign. I believe is the strongest opponent in Household Volume 2 right now. We'll see how it end up, but yeah, it's a star-nosed mole. Someone pointed out on the campaign that it's not an anatomically accurate star-nosed mole, and I'll take the opportunity to say that actually every beast in Household, especially the insects, but all the beasts in Household have been slightly modified. We had when Daniela and the other illustrator who are doing most of the creature, we have a tendency to try and bring these animals, these beasts, a little bit on the fantasy side for 3 reasons. One of the reasons is to avoid upsetting the people that are maybe, like, for example, with spiders especially, or centipedes. We don't want to, to scare anyone. Second reason is because we want the animals to look like the people imagine them, if that makes sense. We try, Household is a game of imagination, so we don't want them to be anatomically correct. We want them to be like the idea that we have of the animal. And the third reason is that many of these animals actually do not make a lot of sense in the same environment, like they come from different places of the earth.
Curious habitat, the house and the garden. I mean, there are species from all over the world, but it's for the...
So we are doing a little bit of household breeding to create these species that kind of live together. They are maybe the one who said that was in the chat. No, there's no need to, just to be clear, there's no need to apologize for pointing that out. It's fair. I mean, you're right. I just wanted to explain this choice, but no offense taken, and I don't think the comment was offensive regarding this scary mole. Moving on from the mole, I believe we unlocked the web wraps. We discussed about the web wraps in one of the previous live stream. It's an extremely difficult couple of words for me, but this is basically a roll of spider web that has been treated in a certain way using a special technique that the Shinigami have of making it usable, manageable, and you can use it to basically wrap your hands and feet and become a little more stealthy, and also you become able to walk or crawl on spider webs without alerting the spider and without getting trapped in it. So yeah, this was the perfect gear to anticipate the coming of a new series of criminal vocation and a new character for a saga of the long winter, which we used as the cover art for this specific live stream, which is Jiroku Sensei. And Jiroku Sensei is here as the representation of one of the new criminal vocation that we just unlocked, which is the ninja, or shinobi, as you prefer. Now, ninjas in Household are, of course, there will be few ninjas around the Household. There's not something that is very common. And as you can see, Jiroku Sensei here, for example, he's a pretty old ninja because it comes from an old tradition. The mustache has been asked before, it's his own mustaches. It's not the mask. Yeah, small snail shells he will use as smoke bombs or other kind of deceptive gear.
Gadgets.
Yes. And yes, ninjas are something that a lot of people were expecting after the Shinigami samurai were introduced. And yeah, I believe a lot of people will be happy to roam around the backyard as Shinigami ninjas. And that was this specific design was done during the campaign. We worked a lot with Daniela to make Household is always kind of in balance between the realism and the fantasy side of the setting, and so we wanted to have kind of a fantasy ninja, of course, but also it was meant to be kind of realistic, hence the decision to make it also a little bit older than other characters, to make him a master, and yeah, so kind of baggy clothes like real ninjas. Yeah, so there was a lot of also I don't know if you can see from this picture, from this resolution here next to me, that his clothes are worn out a lot. It's not a very silky or fashionable fabric. Because ninjas are meant to be, at least in this Household version, they will be kind of the force of the common folks, like the noble had the samurai and the common folk as their ninjas. So that's the whole idea, that's the whole concept for the ninjas and for Jiroku Sensei. Yeah, lockpick on its size, and that he got some sort of kunai made of with the horn of a beetle. There's a lot of things going on in this art. Absolutely in love with Jiroku, and I hope you will appreciate the character himself, because he will be, I can confirm, he is the oldest playable character in Household Volume 1 and 2, so it's a little bit of a different approach.
Yes, we will be able to drink some tea ceremonially with Jiroku Sensei.
Yes, you will
I
also
think it strikes me as a tea lover, Jiroku Sensei. It seems like a Shinigami that loves his tea.
A folk hero, Jiroku Sensei. So he's very like an everyday man. I don't know how to say, but
working class hero.
The folk, yes. So that's the whole idea of the character, at least. Moving on from Jiroku, we have another mole. This time we have a mole companion. which is the cutest, softest.
That's animal of them all.
I want to squish this mole so badly.
Yes,
Um, and also, well, a mole companion. This is something actually that's born during the campaign. We had several ideas for additional campaigns, for additional companions. Sorry, and ultimately we decided to go with the mole because it might be a very useful companion when you roam through the underground, and also because since we unlocked the Moloch, the Blind King, it was cool to have also a good representative of the mole family. Uh,
Just bastard. Okay.
yeah.
It's very cute. Extremely cute.
And also because I am a personal fan of very old video game called Bloody Roar, and in Bloody Roar it was a kind of come si dice picchiaduro in inglese? A beat 'em
Brawler.
up, like brawler, kind of like Tekken 3. Bloody Roar was about people that were able to transform themselves in animals, and one of these character was a were mole, and it was
Yes.
also a ninja named
I
Bakuryu.
think mole. Very cool.
So yeah, it turned into this giant mole ninja thingy, and so it makes sense to unlock Jiroku and the mole at the same time. Bakuryu, yes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, exactly, Grelo. Grelo is old enough to remember. Is part of the old True Little Mice family, so I can spot the age of the people by the amount of backers of people in the chat who remember Bloody Roar.
Yes, all the animal companion grow during the saga because, as you know, many of you maybe are new to the games, but the saga it lasts several years. In the first now for volume 1, the saga lasts more or less 5 years, and in volume 2 we have another a little bit more than 2 years. Let's say 2 years and something. So absolutely yes, all the animal companion are meant to grow bigger and stronger, and also it's our way to have you the chance to diversify a little bit the possibilities with your animal companion.
Yes. And sorry. I think I lost the chat for a moment. Okay, should be everything should be back.
Not of love for Bloody Roar, of course.
Yeah,
it was one of those hidden gems of severally. I don't know what. I don't want to know how many years ago.
I can also confirm that growing up, the mole companion can also become a mount, can become rideable.
Yes, the mouse and the beetle in the volume 1, the mole will have the chance to grow bigger.
Yeah. So, yeah. Moving on. After the mole, we finally reached the 400,000 mark, and we unlocked the dice scroll. So dice scroll, it's going to be, I believe, around this big, 20 something
20 centimeters long.
4 leather. This is just a mock-up. We never done one, so we don't know how it will actually look like.
Let's say it should be something like this.
Pretty similar. It's not a photo of the actual product, but so many people ask what's a dice scroll because it's not a very common item. That's basically a very long and thin dice pouch made of faux leather with a zipper. You can put all the dice inside, you close the zipper, and then you roll it in this dice mat that is connected to it, and then you close it. So when it's closed, it looks like a leather scroll, and when it's opened, it's part pouch and part basically a dice dice mat. I don't know what it's called. So it's going to be faux leather with the engraved, embossed, I can't remember the word each time, with the logo
on it.
Yeah, it's not printed, it's like stamped. I don't know yeah,
I don't know how it's called. Yes,
I should learn the word eventually. I believe engraved makes sense.
Maybe you should be engraved.
Makes sense. So yeah, the scale, the dice are too big, but the perspective was weird, so I made the dice a little bit larger so people can understand that dice goes inside, and yes, but they are like twice the size, the dice here. This is also one of those things that we never talked about before launching this campaign. There was no plan of doing this. There was no. It was a mess because we had to find the rates to actually produce this. Matter of time, matter of money to see if we could do it. Simone did it in record time to ensure that we can do it, and yes, so we did, because we wanted to really celebrate, like give something back of this amazing success, because 400,000 euros is a lot of money for household, and it was an unexpected goal for this campaign. I cannot stress enough how we were aiming a lot lower than that, but where we are. So
I can guarantee
once again,
you that.
Thank you for the incredible support. We were really blown away by this campaign. Not the same chance, Grelo, because we are going to need like 3,000 of this one, and he's an artisan, so we are going to need a bigger producer for something like that. But I always like to say we like making metal coins, because, for example, the metal coins are made in Italy by some friends, and we always like to have at least some of we try to print everything in Europe. We try to produce everything in Europe, and we love to have at least one something made in Italy by a local small producer, and that's how the coins are made. Moving on from this dice scroll, we have Aquamarine. Aquamarine, I believe it's produced, I don't know. Aquamarine is an underwater city that sits at the bottom of the fountain.
Yes.
Under a giant air bubble. It is a thriving city, and the only way to access the city is through a welcoming contract, such as the one you do when you want to enter Cinderol in the fireplace.
Or some arachna on the ceiling of the basement.
And the only way to reach the bubble is inside the mouth of a big fat frog, like the one pictured here.
Yes.
And yes, that's I was going to spoil something, but I don't want to spoil too much. But yes, so from the center of the fountain, you see there is this kind of, there's the fountain, the actual fountain, at the center of the big fountain, and there you will find some traveling frogs. They are not intelligent animals, but they are, trained animals. You will have to pay a small amount of money to get in their mouths and swim to the bottom of the fountain to enter Aquamarine.
We love clothes. To answer to Kyle, there's no magic, but we are trying to the relationship with my household. Of course, there are a lot of magical stuff happened. So we need to explain a couple of things. Most of the things you got to play household from your point of view, from the point of view of the littlings, are not magical, are more or less biological, like the hereditary contract have as little magic as possible. There is, of course, one major things to account of, that is the power of the contracts that more or less pervades every single aspect of the house. One of the most the biggest, the most I don't know how to say, the most important aspect of this contract are the welcoming contract that grants you a supernatural ability just to visit one single place. In Volume 1, we have 2 such contracts. We got, I don't know, remember the English name, so forgive me. Welcome to the Fire, I think, that allows you to visit a city built inside the fireplace. Oh, you will burn otherwise. But even more mystical of that, there's Welcoming Upside Down, I think it's the name of the contract, that grants you the ability to visit Samarachna, city built upside down on the ceiling of the basement by spiders and spider silk. And while you are in the city, if you are welcome, if you got this contract, you can actually walk on the city. And that's this type of welcoming contract function more or less in the same way, granting you some mystical way to visit a unique place that, for whatever reason, has enough importance to be contractual, to have a contract dedicated to it. So Aquamarina is one of these cases. You cannot normally have the superpower to go underwater, but thanks to the importance of this place, you got the ability to reach the place. If you follow an enormous series of rules, even comical. Well, if you ever visit Samarachna, you know that the rules, or Cinderol, the rules are a lot, and sometimes not easy to follow.
In Cinderol, if you ask the same question twice, you burn to your death. And yes. In Aquamarine, if you do not respect the contract, which I will not tell you right now, because maybe your GM want to keep it secret, or want to use it to trick you. But if you don't respect all the part of the contract, you will drown, which is not much better than burn, in my opinion. So yeah. But when we say there's no magic in household, many people, when they ask about magic in household, they ask about spell casting. Especially now that there is a 5th edition of household, we got a lot of questions why there's no spell casting, and we say there's no magic in household. But they are pretty magical things. It's not that there are not wizards, there are not people who can do,
Exactly. That's the fact. Apart from that, let's say that the contracts are more important than, I don't know, the laws of physics, for example. So several contracts grants you what can be described as supernatural abilities.
So after Aquamarine, we decided it was the perfect moment to, as someone saying from the chat, release the Kraken.
Yes.
And so we unlocked the giant catfish. Now, this is the only sea fountainish, I don't know, the only marine creature, colossal creature that we have. Someone asked if all frogs respond to the KFJ, and the answer is yes. King Frog Check can actually impose his will on every frog in the household will
Yes.
will do
It's king,
as,
I mean.
yeah, he's king for a reason. But also, even before becoming king, he had some kind of um, relationship, power relationship on, some kind of power over the other frogs.
Don't worry, Kyle.
No,
Thank
we
you for
always
bringing this up because several times since this is for volume 2 of Household. Sometimes even me and Rico forget that a lot of you are buying the volume 1, so probably you are new to the settings and to the rule that other knows. So it's important just to point out the main feature of the lore, that it's, as you can probably see, a very peculiar lore. So there's a little bit of rules that if you know, you start to enjoy more greatly the game itself.
it's always cool to have dubs, and we always like to take the opportunity to to talk a little bit about the basics of the game.
Yes.
What can we say about the catfish? There is a lot of catfishes
In the fountain.
in the fountain.
That's
The bigger,
plural of cat.
yeah, the bigger of them, the biggest of them is what they call the Kraken. Now, the Kraken may be a legend, may be real. We don't really know. We are kind of entering into the mystery field here. According to King Frog Jack, there is no Kraken. People are just freaking out for no reason, and everybody should stay calm. There's no problem in crossing the fountain with your boat or vessel or ship or whatever. But still, boats keep disappearing once in a while, so there's
Who
that.
knows?
This is we were not ready for this. This is beautiful illustration made by Antonio De Luca, Quadra Studio, during the campaign. Actually, during the campaign, so they were super fast into doing this, and so we don't actually have started playtesting it. I don't know anything about this monster. The one thing I know is that we will try to make rules to be swollen by this monster, because it's such a nice trope, such a nice,
Pinocchio style.
yeah,
Pinocchio.
yeah,
I don't know how you
Pinocchio
pronounce
style.
Pinocchio.
And then I believe this was the last one.
Yes, the 420,000 euros stretch goal. It's long, even to say it's longer than it should be. While we are 5,000 and something euros away from our next stretch goal at 430,000. We will unlock 3 new vocations for the scholar profession. And who will be the next mysterious character of the Saga of the Long Winter that will help us present this new vocation? Who knows? We will discover it together.
One thing that I like, and I believe you can see from the silhouette as well, is that this character is carrying on their shoulder the dice scroll that we would just unlocked. Of course, a little bigger. But this is a Daniela's idea. I think it's brilliant to incorporate into the design. And for people who are skeptical that Daniela is actually doing this illustration during the campaign, I hope that this will be further proof of it, that she's incorporating something that we just came up with, and we just decided during the campaign inside the illustration. Is it a gnome? No, it's not a gnome. Will we have other beautiful illustration? Yeah, we will have plenty depending on how the campaign goes, but the book will be already full. After the 430, we have 440. We have something different. Stretch goal, something that will be inside the books, not physical stuff. We want to keep it secret. We will reveal it hopefully this evening or tomorrow morning. You will see. And for the 450, we decided to unlock yet another favor that comes with yet another coin, this time a square coin, because we are getting, it's getting out of hand with these coin shapes. And this favor will be the barn owl's favor. And the barn owl, there's only one barn owl outside the house, and his name is Lancaster, and he's, as we know from the previous update, he is extremely sad for something. He's extremely like he's depressed for something that happened to him, and he once was revered as one of the strongest
considered
beasts
one
of
of
the
the
house,
strongest inhabitants of the household.
a night
But
hunter.
that something happened,
Yeah.
which I don't even know, so don't ask me. Just Rico knows this.
Yeah.
This kind of lore, like King Frog Jack. Sometimes people ask me, I know a little bit more than you, but not so much, lesser than you think.
It's
King Frog Jack Froggy Tag. It's cool. No, you cannot have it, but I agree. It would be cool. Like the Naruto, pouch for coins.
you will see that when we unlock, if we unlock the barn owl's favor, we'll also reveal the full art. It's a full
Right.
spread of Lancaster, and this was also made by Daniela during the campaign. It took her 3 or 4 days.
I saw this one. I can guarantee you, it's unbelievable. If I myself with my own eyes haven't seen the entire process, I would say completely unbelievable. It's one of my favorite Daniela's art, like ever. So it's really beautiful.
And there's a lot of things going on in this art, and especially the eyes of this barn
Yes.
owl, as you can see through this graphic on my right. He's an extremely sad creature, and I won't tell you too much about Lancaster because I think it will play a role more than Jack inside the saga of the Long Winter. I think that there are some characters like Coco and Ajax that will probably benefit from talking to the barn owl. So we'll see. We're still writing, but we'll see. So I won't tell you too much because maybe you want to actually play and find out his story. Lancaster will be, by the way,
Yes.
will be in the lore. Yes, definitely. We are not, as I always say, we are not unlocking Lancaster. We are unlocking the barn owl's favor,
Rules
which is
or handling the
Yep.
specific Lancaster favor and its coins, of course. In this case, there's also the physical part of the stretch goal, but no, of course, we are not. There's a lot of much lore as it is. We are not unlocking much lore by adding. At
Lancaster.
least we unlock location, as you see, that become location you can actually visit, stuff like that. But no, important character like Lancaster will be there. But we hope we can also unlock the very unique and specific favor.
Could you prolong the campaign somehow? A little, meaning
A
that
little, yes. You don't know how it works. We have something called how it's called the
overtime mode.
overtime mode, meaning when the counter will reach 0, if there is a backer trade ongoing until the backer trade stops, we will be live. So the end of the campaign officially will be Thursday. It's the most difficult days of the week for me to pronounce. Will be next Thursday at I think 10 p.m. Italy's time, so Central European time. But starting from that, if there will be a Backer train ongoing, we will be here indefinitely.
I have
You have the enamel pin, thanks
Yeah,
to
but-
BackerKit, of the Backer train that goes choo-choo.
And so, by the way, they did it with these small mushrooms on a log kind of train, so it's very household dish. But yes, I had to show you my bigger train pin.
This is a sandbox city based on Mexico. It's very interesting, I must say. Kyle, there's always also the thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
so glad Paris for stars stretch a little bit bigger than we can probably actually manage to do. But thank you, Damien. It's Wednesday. That's true, Jay.
so, what's going to happen now? We have 53, 52 hours
52,
left.
yeah.
I don't know.
52 hours. and some.
52 hours and something to go. We don't know how these last days will go. We hope they will go as great as the rest of the campaign, but we will see. What we will do, we will keep adding stretch goal until there is time. We have something still to unlock because we started to plan ahead. After the first day, we did like 220k, like what we were hoping to do at the end of the campaign. We did it in the first 48 hours. So we start to plan ahead. We have something still waiting beyond the 450. And what else? We will definitely make another live stream on the 12th at 10 p.m. European time, which means, I don't know if where you are right now, but it means now it would be 6 basically in Europe, so in 4 hours. We will do to follow the very first last hour of the campaign and to follow all the overtime mode. It will be extremely chaotic. I will be updating, we will be going up and down, closing the webcam, doing stuff, and so it's, as always, it's basically like you live in our studio for a couple of hours or more, depending on how this will go.
I'm very worried about the time. We barely survived the last one.
I don't know how we will manage. Somehow we will manage, but also there's a chance that we will do another live stream tomorrow. I don't know. It depends how crazy things will go, if we need to say anything before the end. But yes, please put on your seatbelt, sit tight, and we'll see where this final rush will lead us to.
And we should wait for the ebook, the PDFs of volume 2. I don't know. Usually we have a pretty, when talking especially about, outcome, that we know how many days, weeks, or months we need to complete. Household is a little bit trickier, as you know, if you got the books in your hand. It's a lot of work for us, for the writing, for the layouts, for the art. So I must admit, telling you a date right now would be like guessing. Game Boy, I don't know.
Definitely second half of the year. I wouldn't hold my breath to receive the books before kind of May or even June, because there is,
let's say we are aiming to give you the PDF in June. That's our idea. We will know, of course, we will keep you updated, as you know we will. throughout the entire process, and
Yeah.
as soon as we will be ready with more information.
Yeah, we will try to release stuff and show playtest and do live stream and show the artwork and what we are doing, the layout while we are doing, but it will take some time because nothing in Household is standard. Is everything like um, we write and we put in layout and we do the art and we have to make everything fit together, so it takes a lot of coming and going between different stages of the project, and it's not like Outgunned where it's more structured. But there was a question about a French version of Household. It's currently that we do not plan to translate any of our game, let alone Household, in any other language. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't hold my breath on French, German, Spanish translation of Household. The day that I will find a person who can speak French or whatever other language and Italian and whom I trust 400%, and the day that Katerina will have enough time to stay with us and follow the translation process, because once everything gets translated to French or Spanish, I cannot evaluate myself the quality of the translation. Once we have all of that, which will not be sooner, I guess, then we will start thinking about it. But definitely not going to send Household to a publisher for them to translate and see how it goes. That's not in our plans. Sorry, but I know not the best answer, but that's actually the truth. So it's better to say it out loud.
I think it's time to actually say goodbye. It's been almost an hour, as usual, in our live stream. So thank you very much for following us, for following the campaign. Let's see where this crazy ship will make us arrive. We really don't know where it's headed. We will discover it, and of course we will be here 24/7 for the next 3 days and something. Thank you, Matteo. Goodbye to every single one of you, and please be aware that in the next stretch goal, so in a little more than 5,000 euros, we will reveal another character to go with a new vocation. So keep an eye on the campaign or on your email for that.
See you next time, guys. And
see you the day after tomorrow for our final live stream in here, the final live stream.
Get ready, get something to drink, something to eat, get a blanket and prepare for it.
I already have my blanket here. I'm ready. I will be with my hot cocoa. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of a sleepover party end of the campaign.
More sleepover at the end than show at the end. Let's see. Let's see it. We'll talk about our own business. I don't know.
We'll see.
Tell funny stories around the fire or whatever while we die inside by the amount of stress that we will see when the counter raises and lowers. We don't know what we will do.
Try our best. Thank you, guys. We'll see you soon.